Hey! I know you want me to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's, but first I wanted to thank you all for 350 subscribers. We are now a third of the way, well, a little bit more, of reaching 1,000 subs, which is insane to me. So if you are not subscribed yet, no worries, I'll still love you if you're a little later than the rest. So, hey, why don't you join the club by subscribing? Yeah, without further ado, let's get into the Bite of 87! First of all, this movie made me remember that I hate theater so much. People are like eating as loudly as they can, talking as loudly as they can for like half of the movie. And I hate you. And you're not even funny. You're not even like screaming the Bite of 87. So stop doing that. Stop talking over the movie. Alright. Okay, thank you for listening to that little complaining of me, but now we're really gonna start with the review. So first, let's talk about expectations without spoilers, and if they were met. And overall, I feel like they were. I didn't expect to be jumped, and I didn't. I mean, scares were definitely there in the movie. Personally, they didn't do much for me, and we are talking about a horror movie here. Horror movies nowadays aren't that scary. I expected the movie to not be too gory, but still a bit brutal. Which, yeah, it kind of was, but cutaways and such moments were a bit too common, if you ask me. They should have made the movie 18+, that way they could have done some real damage. I also expected at least a decent adaptation, because Scott himself was there, and I do think we got one. But I'll get into more later. But first, for those who are watching just to get the great and the spoiler-free conclusion, I made a timestamp called conclusion, which you can go to, and then you can just watch my shitty opinion and come back later after watching the movie for yourself. And for all you cool gamers who watched the movie or don't care for spoilers, let's jump into it. By far, the best feature of the movie was the sets, effects, and the overall design. The animatronics were in fact so good that I smiled when they simply winked through a character. You do notice that the movie feels a lot smaller scaled because of that attention. The only places we really visit are the pizza place, Mike's house, the kindergarten, and Mad Patch Lunch Clubhouse, which was really fun. Technically, you could count the weird car shots to the locations that I really dislike. It pulls you out of the moment and is so much inferior to a nice close-up of the characters while driving. And you want those close-ups, believe me. I'll get more into that later, but for now, what I'll say is the sets were beautiful. You could see that they built it from the ground up, which they did. They barely really used CGI, and everything looks really cool. I think the effects and the sets will get an 8 out of 10. The movie would simply not be much without it. Now, when I say I wanted more close-ups, I mean it. John Hutcherson honestly did a great job with Mike, and is by far the best actor in the movie. Most actors are good though, obviously the kid actors aren't always as smooth, but it's not Anakin Phantom Menace bad.
Are you an angel?
What?
An angel.
What?
Matthew Lillard's performance was probably the most questionable. He made William Afton into a quirky haha killer and managed to get me zero chills with it. With that, I do want to say the Springtrap suit looked amazing and his body acting in it was amazing. Overall acting wasn't bad. Vanessa was pretty nice, Abby did her best and, well, worked most of the time, and the kids in the woods were pretty thrilling as well. I'll give acting a 7.5 out of 10. Now, this is where most people have a problem with, the storytelling of the movie. And I certainly see why. Especially if you are familiar with the lore, you will almost predict everything. And if you aren't, you'll still be able to predict the standard horror movie shenanigans.
Oh, these guys are going to the haunted place to wreck it up. Moi, nothing could possibly go bad there.
They did try to, like, tie everything in the lore together a bit, but since they did that all in one movie, it just doesn't work. I feel bad for all those storylines that got crammed into that little movie. It must be claustrophobic. Still, the storytelling wasn't as rushed and bad as the Mario movie. Bite me! I will forever complain about the Mario movie's lack for storytelling. But Five Nights at Freddy's also didn't do a good job of storytelling. But I don't believe it was terrible. Mike and Abby's relationship is nice. Abby interacting with the animatronics makes sense. In a way they're like clowns, where adults really don't like them, but kids don't mind them. Aunt Jane was a nice comedic relief and she got what she deserved, I guess. But storytelling was the weaker point, so I'll give that a mere 5 out of 10. They needed another movie like a prequel to tell the story properly, if you ask me. If you are a fan of FNAF though, I will tell you that it's worth a watch just for the references. I especially love Balloon Boy. He was like a reoccurring comedic relief throughout the movie, and I thought he was insanely funny. Everyone in the theater laughed every time his jump scares got on screen as well. And let's talk game theories, even think Balloon Boy might be Gareth, Mike's brother. Balloon Boy the animatronic was very conveniently missing in the movie, so it's certainly possible, even though they do have action figures of him, so hey, something might be going on. Vanessa being in the movie is also nice, even though it fucks a bit with the timeline. But there is plenty of references, from Mad Pat saying, "But hey, that's just a theory," to William Afton claiming he will always come back. The adaptation overall is really nice, but I do miss one little feature. And no, calm down, it's not Markiplier screaming, "At the bite of 87! Grow up. It's the audio design, mostly. I miss, for example, the creepy organ. It seems that the makers got so incredibly obsessed with making the story right that they forgot what made the game creepy in the first place. The sound design and the knowledge that you will just not be able to walk out of there. And I really miss that. This video over here also really goes deeper into the FNAF 1 audio design and explains the importance of audio really well. I'll keep it in the description so you can watch it. That, and I do think Freddy should have played Les Toreados at some point in the movie to creep someone out, but oh well. Overall, the two animatronics that got the least amount of attention were Bonnie and Freddy, which is weird because in the games it's like the other way around. But overall, I think there's enough reference candy in there for everyone to smickle up. Like what I did there, that's a Dutch word, smickle. Put that in your dictionary. Smickle. To smickle. I smickle. You smickle. We smickle. So, I'll give the references a 7 out of 10. Hey, welcome back people who clicked forward. Let's start the conclusion. The best part about the Five Nights at Freddy's movie is the look and the vibe of the film. Fans will have enough to enjoy in the movie, but the movie does suffer from being cramped up a bit and it's still missing things. The most irritating part of the movie is by far the horror movie formula. I don't think it's even possible to get scared by things anymore. Characters investigating things and stupidly and unnecessarily will never cease to annoy me. Overall, the movie is more funny and aesthetically pleasing than scary and thrilling. Taking everything into account, the movie gets a 7.6, which some might consider high, and I agree, but the movie still is really fun to watch for sure, and does some things right. The biggest flaws are with the genre, not with the movie. Alright, I'm done talking, now it's your turn. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I pretty much reply to everything since I don't have many subs anyway. But you can change that. If I reach 1,000 subs before 2024, I'll replicate the bite of 87 with a hot pepper. And of course, if you like this video, make sure to push the thumbs up on it. And if you have too much gas and you want to throw it at a silly Dutch commentary YouTuber, I have a sociabuzz link in my description. Thank you all so much for watching. And once again, see ya.